All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Ba'ashem Kodesh, double honors to the elders and apostles of greatness stone, Shalom to the elect, pushing the sword in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh is the name of His only begotten Son. These so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites, according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. So, I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the character written about in Revelation 13, verse 16 and down, which is the MOTB. The miracle drug is a precursor to the MOTB. Yahushai, whom dwell ignorantly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So I want to jump straight into this lesson dealing with the perilous times to come. Because if you're watching, being sober as the scripture says, and if you're watching the news, you see some certain things being reported, like financial institution going under, the food shortages, stores locking down. You hear of these various conflicts around the world, from in the Middle East to Ukraine and Russia to China and Taiwan. But people are not aware that these things were foretold by the prophets that have been before us. As is written in 2 Ezra 8 verse 50, say, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And that is how people walk right now, in great pride, especially those that dwell in America, because they believe a big bad America can never fall, which is just a vain delusion where them hold on to you, because that will crumble in the times to come. Because as the prophet Jeremiah have said, this is Jeremiah 8 verse 28. I mean, I go wrong though. Jeremiah 28 verse 8, my bad. It said, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and great kingdoms, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. And right now the Lord has raised up the prophets to declare the great perils we're going to bring upon the earth. We're going to come in the form of famine, destruction, the sword, which all these are plagues, death, so the Lord that can bring these evils, as it is written in Amos, can evil be done in a city and I, the Lord, have not done it. So let's go straight into this clip so you can see what's coming.
Do you guys care about going to war in World War III? Because we do. We are anti-war on this show. So get ready for NATO to use this drone story as a reason to launch World War III with Russia. They will use any excuse that they can to launch a war against Russia. And according to TASS News, legendary journalist Seymour Hersh is reporting conversations that he's been having with the United States and NATO military officials that the U.S. is getting ready for war with Russia if Russia makes major advances against the capital city of Kiev in Ukraine. Quoting from this report, and here's what Seymour Hersh is saying: the United States can intervene in the conflict in Ukraine with the prospect of Kiev's defeat. American journalist Seymour Hersh says, they tell me the game will be like this. This is NATO. We support NATO in offensive operations against the Russians, which will not deceive the world. It is we who are at war with the Russians, said Hirsch, who has extensive connections in military circles and special services of the United States. In addition, the journalist, talking about the threat of a direct conflict between the United States and Russia on the basis of Washington's plans, according to his testimony, specifically mentioned the formations of the 82nd and 101st Airborne Divisions of the American Ground Forces. Can you guys believe this? Which are being transferred to Europe. We're talking about brigades, Seymour Hirsch says, not battalions, but brigades. So Seymour Hirsch saying this is NATO. He's basically saying the game will be like this. This is NATO. We support NATO. If they're going to go in against Russia, we got to support them. So we can sort of pass the buck to NATO. It's not necessarily we that are at war with Russia. It's NATO, but we need to be supportive. We are going to send troops in that regard, according to TASS and what Seymour Hirsch is saying.
I mean, how do we make the distinction anymore between NATO and the United States?
We don't. Is there any
United
daylight?
States Monday. No.
Yeah.
Money.
Well, that makes it no coincidence that Zelensky just said we need to go on the offensive. The U.S. needs to help us go on the offensive so that Russia understands that, the United.
So, a lot of people hear these news being broadcast on the mainstream news media outlets of what took place, and a lot of people are prepared and I think about World War III, in which we have been prophesying about World War III for a while now, for decades now. But right now, when them see it get drawn closer and closer, it's like this really can happen. But the mindset you're supposed to be in is this. This is Matthew 24 verse 6. And say, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And this is what we're hearing of right now. And we're seeing war taking place also. See that ye be not troubled. So right now you're not supposed to be troubled when you hear of various conflict going on around the world. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And one of the main reasons why we even know that the end is not yet, the RFID microchip is not mandated throughout the earth. So you got see more conflicts and you got hear more rumors of wars. Because we're in such a time in which things are going to get worse. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. And tell me now, the amount of earthquake are shook now, man. The big one will take place in Turkey and Syria, but if you look up earthquakes that took place within the last month, you would be shocked, yo. You would be shocked. Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So let's see what the beginning of sorrows entail. This is 2 Esdras, I want to say 16, verse 18. It said, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? And who I bring these evils upon the earth? The one the world ignorantly call God. This is 2 Esdras 15 verse 5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, for wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their earthful works are fulfilled. So the Lord said, I'm going to bring plagues. When I read 2 Esdras 16 verse 14, it said, behold, the plagues are sent. So them plagues they get sent already, yo. And shall not return again until they come upon the earth. But people, they are not seeing the acts of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua in the earth, man. The scripture said the judgment of the Lord go forth every morning, but the unjust know no shame. People now realize whose hand is behind it all, yo. Yahweh Hashem Shai I control both narratives, yo. The good and the evil. So hope this is edifying. With that I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Aka Kodash. Shalom.